Before the skyscrapers, there was only the roar. St. Anthony Falls, the only natural waterfall on the Mississippi and the heartbeat of a future empire. In 1856, this was a rugged frontier. But the water held a secret: 40,000 horsepower of raw energy waiting to be harnessed. They called it Sawdust Town. It was a place of grit and timber, where the air smelled of fresh pine and industrial ambition. By 1899, Minneapolis was the lumber capital of the world. Its mills didn't just cut wood, they built the American West, city by city, prairie by prairie. At its peak, nearly 1 billion board feet of lumber flowed from these banks. It was an era of unprecedented growth. But the forests weren't infinite. The trees would eventually vanish, but the power remained. Next, we explore the obsession that turned Sawdust Town into the Mill City. As the lumber mills fell silent, a new obsession took hold: white gold. It would turn a frontier town into the flour capital of the world. Innovations like the Middling's purifier were revolutionary, turning hard prairie wheat into the finest white flour ever seen. Global empires were born. By 1884, Minneapolis was the world's leader. 12 million loaves of bread a day, all starting here at the Falls. But in May 1878, the marvel of the age became a nightmare. A single spark ignited the air, flour dust more explosive than gunpowder. The explosion leveled the riverfront, but from the ruins, they built back stronger, with safety systems that changed global industry forever. The Mill City had arrived. Next, we leave the industry behind for the sound that shook the world: the Purple Era. As the industrial dust of the mills finally settled, a new energy began to hum in the streets, a sound the world had never heard before. In the late 1970s, a subgenre was born. Funk, rock, and synth-pop collided to create the Minneapolis sound, raw, electric, and revolutionary. At the center of it all was a kid from North Minneapolis, Prince Rogers Nelson. From his first solo shows at the Capri, a legend was taking shape. With Purple Rain, he didn't just make a movie. He made First Avenue world famous and cemented the city as a global capital of cool. It wasn't just music, it was a revolution of identity. Prince and his contemporaries proved that from the frozen north, the hottest fire could rise. The Purple Rain changed the city's soul forever. Next, we look toward the horizon at the vision for a 2026 Minneapolis. Beyond the music and the mills, Minneapolis became a laboratory for modern urban living, a city that learned to beat the cold by moving inside. Welcome to the largest continuous skyway system on Earth. Over 9 miles of climate-controlled paths connecting 80 city blocks high above the streets. It's a second city in the sky, where life continues at 70 degrees no matter how hard the Minnesota winter bites below. But the city holds a quieter secret. Tucked away in a South Minneapolis lab is a room that holds a Guinness World Record, the anechoic chamber. It's 99.9% sound absorbent, the quietest place on the planet, where you can hear your own heart beating. A city of engineering marvels and hidden silence. Next, we reach the horizon, the bold and controversial vision for 2026. We have seen the sawdust and the flour, the music and the grid. Now we look toward the horizon. By 2026, Minneapolis is undergoing a $10 billion transformation. The Upper Harbor Terminal, a 48-acre redevelopment, is reclaiming the riverfront for the people, blending green space with world-class entertainment. A massive tech boom is fueling this growth. With billions in new data center investments, the city is cementing its place as a national leader in the digital economy. But the vision for 2026 isn't just about steel and glass. It's about reconciliation, investing hundreds of millions into the infrastructure of equity and community. Today, the Mill City is a different world than the outpost of 1856. A city that reinvented itself time and again, and is doing so once more. From the roar of the falls to the vision of tomorrow, this is the Rise of Minneapolis. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Subscribe for more deep documentaries. The mills brought wealth and power, but they also brought a heavy human cost. The machines that fed the world were unforgiving to those who operated them. Due to the high rate of accidents, Minneapolis became an unlikely world leader. By the late 1800s, 6 major companies here specialized in a single vital product: artificial limbs. It was an industry born from necessity. The same ingenuity that refined flour was now being used to restore mobility to thousands across the nation. But the wealth from the falls also built unthinkable luxury. In 1913, the city saw the birth of the Gates Mansion, a 38,000-square-foot marvel. It was a world first, the first house in the United States to feature air conditioning, a symbol of a city that could now control even the climate itself. From the grid of the workshop to the heights of luxury, Minneapolis was a city of extremes. Next, we explore the Gateway District and the era of urban renewal. For decades, it was the front door to the city, the Gateway District, a bustling hub of railroads, hotels, and the neon-lit promise of the American dream. This was where thousands first touched Minneapolis soil, a crossroads of commerce and culture that defined the city's early 20th century peak. But by the 1950s, the Gateway had earned a different reputation. Known as Skid Row, the district's aging buildings and social struggles became a target for radical change. Urban renewal arrived with a vengeance. In one of the most massive projects in U.S. history, 25 city blocks, 40% of downtown, were leveled in a few short years. From the dust of the old world, the new Minneapolis rose, a city reimagined with wide avenues and glass towers, trading its railroad past for a corporate future. The Gateway was gone, but the city was transformed. Next, we reach our final destination, the Mill City's grand rebirth and the vision for 2026. Beyond the mills and the music, a different kind of energy began to pulse through the city, the roar of the crowd and the pursuit of glory. In 1987 and 1991, the Twins shook the world. Led by icons like Kirby Puckett, Minneapolis became a baseball capital, united by the wave of the Homer Hanky. The Metrodome was the city's concrete heart, a noisy, legendary cathedral where history was made under an inflatable sky. But as the city evolved, so did its stages. The Dome gave way to architectural marvels, Target Field and the Purple Palace of U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, Minneapolis stands as a premier global sports destination where the legacy of past champions fuels the dreams of a new generation. A city of champions and visionary architecture. Next, we reach the final horizon, the 2026 transformation of the Minneapolis riverfront.